Hey you guys, my name is Kessa Hawkins. Thank you for joining us on maybe checking out what coaching's all about and maybe see if it's a fit for you or maybe even somebody that you know. Prior to plugging into Beachbody Coaching, I was a stay-at-home mom. I always was a social butterfly, bartender, waitress. I loved being around people. And when I became a stay-at-home mom, after a couple years, I really started losing my identity. And I also started losing my independence and my financial, stability. It was always depending on my husband for things, and I was never that girl, and I wasn't used to it. And I just started feeling lost. I felt lonely. And I realized that I was really insecure and I didn't have much self-worth. It was a tough time for me, especially when you realize that and you dig in and realize that, maybe I'm not as happy as I portray myself to be. At this time, you guys, I really kind of gave up and fell into a drug habit. Prescription drugs and drinking a lot to just numb the pain. I felt really spiritually dead, and it just really numbed out the pain, the feelings of not feeling worthy, not having to work through issues. And it came one day when my sister looked at me and said, "What the heck are you going to do when your son goes to school?" And honestly, you guys, I didn't want to go back to bartending and waitressing. The hours were long. They were nighttime hours. I wasn't willing to give up my family time, or I was always, for the last 5 years, I was my own boss. So I decided that I loved working out and I wanted to learn how to become a little healthier and teach my kids a healthy lifestyle and not have to struggle the way I struggled growing up, eating ramen noodles and processed foods and all of that stuff. So I really just said, I'll go into personal training. So I went ahead and I dove into that. I got certified. I got a job at a gym, and within 2 days I quit because, like I said, I enjoyed working for myself, running my own home, and it was really hard to go back to working for a boss. It was hard to start down at the bottom of the totem pole. I was running bars before. I was the head waitress, so it was really difficult for me to be down cleaning equipment when I could be home at night with my husband and my children. So I lasted 2 days, and I just reached out to this girl, Summer Tucker, and said, "What the heck is this Beachbody Coaching all about?" And she shared with me what I could do and the people that I could reach and the ripple effect that can occur. So I dove in. But I still, you guys, was abusing Percocet. When I became a coach and I enrolled, I was abusing Percocet. And it took me a couple years to realize that my pillars were not lining up. I was working out and I was healthy and eating clean and teaching my family, like I said, a healthy lifestyle. But I was still doing drugs and drinking a lot. And I just remember one day thinking, my pillars are not lining up. I'm sitting here supposed to be a health coach and teaching people how to be healthy, but my secret side wasn't that. So I reached out to my coach and I shared with her what was going on. She never judged me. She never made me feel bad about it. She didn't understand because she was never that girl, but she totally wrapped her arms around me. And I think that was my biggest pivotal point. I remember one time looking at our children and told them we couldn't do our Great Wolf Lodge trip at Christmas that we did every year because our rental became vacant unexpectedly. And it was at that moment that I realized I had to do something with my Beachbody business. I had an opportunity right at my fingertips to take that financial stress off of my husband. And if I could only make that amount of money it was $700. If I could make $700 a month, then that would really alleviate the stress. And that's exactly what I started doing. I stopped doing the drugs. I put the puzzle pieces together. I started following the recipe that Summer was sharing with us. These are the things that you have to do to make this work. And everyone's different. I had a lot of personal growth to do. So when I started making money with Beachbody, I started digging into personal development. The great thing is our house became, not vacant, and that money just compounded. And I learned, because of Beachbody, through personal development, I learned how to pay off $40,000 in debt. That honestly, you guys, I didn't even know we were really in debt, because society says it's okay to carry debt. Wrong. So I dug in, and I was able, as a stay-at-home mom that works maybe 10 hours a week, I've been able to pay off $40,000. How freaking awesome is that? That financial stress is coming off of my husband. All right, so the drugs are gone. I'm, working on becoming debt free. I have helped hundreds and hundreds of people lose weight, get healthy, teach their families how to get healthy. I've taught people how to pay off their debt. Like my girl Jessica Morris has paid off $6,000 in debt as a full-time student, a full-time worker, and a Beachbody coach. It is totally doable, you guys. And it's amazing, amazing that as a little girl, I always wanted to travel. It was my dream. And then I left Michigan at 19 years old, packed a U-Haul, moved to North Carolina, and I met years later and fell in love with my husband. That's from West Virginia. So I knew there was no way that I was going to be traveling. I had nowhere to go. There was no means to travel. And guess what? Now I'm living out my dream of traveling the country. I travel to events. I travel to trips that I've earned. And I get to see all of these awesome friends that I have made along the way, all because of Beachbody. It is absolutely mind-blowing to me that a girl that had no self-worth, zero, you guys. I would sit at the beach and judge myself against every single girl that walked by me. I wasn't paying attention to my kids and seeing them have fun in the sand. I was comparing, why are my boobs so small? Why is my butt so big? I'm fat. My whole life, my entire life. And I remember it was in April. It was probably 6 months after I started coaching and working on my own journey that I messaged my coach and just said, oh my God, I'm sitting here. I'm not even judging myself. I'm not even comparing myself. What an amazing feeling it is to sit there and feel comfortable in your skin. Now, have I fluctuated in the last 4+ years? Absolutely. I'm totally human. Do I still drink a little bit too much on occasions and have to reel myself back in? Yep, absolutely. Only human. But I'm so much healthier. I have taught my family how to become healthy. When I started, I just wanted to teach them, like I said, to live a healthy lifestyle. And the crazy thing, it just came full circle. My daughter suffers from migraines. And the solution is to cut out something called tyramine, whatever. And it's naturally occurring in different foods like bananas and onions and nuts and nitrates. And the great thing is, when we had the list in front of us, what she could not eat, we already shopped that way. 4 years ago, before coaching, I would have had all of that processed food in her body. And I just loved thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be an easy transition for my daughter to stop getting migraines, because I know how to eat clean. I buy foods that don't have nitrates in it. I know what to do. And it's amazing, amazing to see that come full circle. You guys, even deeper than that, and I'm going to be honest, my marriage was suffering. I've been married for 10 years and we've gotten along, but it was a very separate marriage. We didn't ever honor each other. I didn't even know what that word meant. And because of Beachbody and plugging into people like Danny Johnson and listening to other successful people share their tips and their secrets on how to become successful. John Maxwell has been a mentor of mine. My marriage is completely restored, you guys. Completely restored. This spiritually dead girl with no self-worth and numbing herself with prescription pills and alcohol had no identity anymore and couldn't help out financially, has completely turned her life around to becoming close to debt-free, $40,000 already paid off, traveling the country. My marriage is restored, and I am a Christian now. And so is my non-believing husband and our child, working on our daughter. So you guys, if you've ever thought, maybe I want to do something different, maybe this Beachbody thing could change my life just like it's changed Kessa's life. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of stories out there. This is just one. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Have an awesome day.